Welcome to SuperTalk, a podcast hosted by Hillside Public School Superintendent Glover. The goal of SuperTalk is to provide an informative platform where Hillside Public School students, staff, and stakeholders can have a candid conversation with the district superintendent, as well as be spotlighted for their hard work and initiatives. Peace and blessings. Good afternoon. This is Superintendent Glover coming with another episode of Super Talk here in Hillside Public Schools. And today we continue our conversation around mental health. As we mentioned in the first podcast a couple of weeks ago, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And the goal this month is to make sure that we are addressing issues and tackling topics that can perhaps have an impact of awakening, can have the impact of bringing some consciousness and awareness to those who may be not only just suffering, struggling, but also those who are confused and looking for spaces to turn to. So as promised, this episode is an episode that is bringing forth one of our practitioners in the field, and a practitioner who I had a chance to meet a few weeks ago when she was presenting our state of emergency conversation around vaping and marijuana use among young people. And today I wanted to give her a more intimate platform to share some information to kind of get our young people understanding that there are spaces, places, and people who can provide help and assistance. So today, hopefully I don't say it wrong, but because I'm one who's a stickler about names, let's welcome to our show, our podcast, Ms. Yaa Amankwaa.
You're saying it right.
Ms. Yaa Amankwaa.
Yes.
Oh, I got it. Now we're going to edit that. But Ms. Yaa Amankwaa. Welcome to Hillside. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. So introduce yourself a little further, where you currently work, a little fun fact about us so we can get to know a little bit about you personally before we delve into your professional.
Okay. So my name is Yaa Amankwaa. I work for Prevention Links. I am the Health and Wellness Coalition Coordinator there. You asked where I grew up. I grew up in Roselle. It's right next to Kenilworth, not too far. And a fun fact about me is, I wouldn't say it's a fun fact, but I have a cat and he's very popular in my neighborhood. So everyone knows him because he loves to run outside.
You have a stray cat or you have a...
No, he's actually my cat. I adopted him from a shelter, but he's always been an outside cat. He just loves outdoors, everything. And so my neighbors are very accustomed to him.
So you have a cat that people love. How do you know he's your cat?
I adopted him.
Does he want to be? That sounds like he doesn't want to stay there.
He does. When he runs away, he always comes back. Like, he'll run away and I'll open the door in the morning and he's right at the front door. Or like my mom will walk down the street and she's like, "Oh, Malcolm." And he always comes back. So I definitely do think he's mine.
Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm.
All right, Malcolm. So you are the Health and Wellness Coordinator at Prevention Links. How long have you been there?
About 2 years. It's maybe going on 3 now, since 2023. I started in September. Yeah, September 2023. I started.
And so what gravitated you to this space of working at Prevention Links?
So originally I was just looking for a job. I'm not gonna lie. But learning about what we do and learning that, I'm able to make a difference in not only like anybody I come in contact with from grades 3 all the way up until elderly people. I'm able to help them in some sort of way, helping them understand their health, how certain things like substances or just making correct decisions can really affect their life. So just being able to make a change in my community really drew me into that job even more.
We definitely want to just touch upon some of those strategies that you can offer to our young people, and not just our young people, but all folks of all various ages. But let's talk about some of the challenges that you are seeing our young people experience, especially as it's attached to mental health and the things that you're coming across in your work.
So I would say a lot of things normally they start from home. The kids that I help, something can go on at home or in their community or even in school. It's like peers, societal, like it's so much that goes into it. I'm not gonna only say home, but there's so many factors. So then when they come to school, they're surrounded by, a bunch of other peers, and sometimes their peers might be doing something and they're peer pressured, or 9 times out of 10 they just want to fit in. They want to feel welcomed, or, they want to fit in somewhere. So that's where it comes in. That's why I feel like I go to the schools and I try to touch on certain things like, okay, how are you feeling today? I like to start off my classes like, good morning, as much energy as possible. How's everyone feeling today? And you'll get those kids that are like, I'm feeling good, I'm tired, or whatever the case is. And then you'll have those like few kids at the end that they won't talk, but then at the end they'll come and tell me like, hey, this is what's going on. So maybe you didn't see me as happy today. So yeah.
In your work, what age are you finding students are becoming more comfortable with sharing their mental health challenges?
I feel like every age group, like I deal with grades 3 through 12, and they're all going through something. So I feel like me just being nice and open. Sometimes I like to throw a joke in there and get them comfortable. And I feel like that's what gets them open. I'm not gonna only say like one grade, because it's about you trying to get them to open up. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's third graders that I've talked to and they're telling me their life instances, and I'm like, I would not expect you to be going through something like this.
So many times our students don't know who to turn to,
Okay.
and especially not talking to their parents may not be the right way, right? Because we don't feel like our parents understand us.
Yeah.
So when you talk to students, where do they turn? Who do they turn to? Where are those safe spaces or those spaces they know they can get good advice or good information?
Normally they tell me like it's their favorite teacher. So it can be, I've had security guards, guidance counselors, even like the maintenance people, like someone that's always in the building, like anybody you could possibly think of. It's just making that connection with the child.
Sounds like a key word that I've been using frequently amongst different circles of colleagues is relationship building. Are you finding that our students tend to open up more with those who are either their peer group or adults when they have a stronger relationship?
Yeah, for sure. Like, because they feel like, whereas at home they know this is their family, sometimes they know that if I tell my family this, they might judge me. You come to school and you might have, let's say, your favorite math teacher. You can tell her anything, and she's just gonna be like, she's gonna find a way to help you. So just continuing to build that relationship, asking students, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? What's going on?
So you've said a couple of times that in your role, Prevention Links allows you to make outreach with students. Prevention Links also has resources and programs for students. Talk about some of those programs that Prevention Links offers our students.
So we offer a program called YTAG. It is our youth tobacco action group. It is based out of the Elizabeth Community Center. So I will go there. Me and one of my colleagues will go there once a month, accompanied by the Elizabeth Port Community Center, and we will, provide these kids with a dinner, and we will talk about a certain topic, such as like don't get vaped in, or community environmental scanning. That's what we did last week. We did environmental scanning, so that just shows them what's going on in their community. Um, Sometimes we get into emotions. How's everyone feeling? Okay, here's a piece of paper. Use the paint and tell me how you're feeling. Some kids will put red and draw a mad face or whatever the case is, but I want them to express that. We also have programs like We're Not Buying It. We're Not Buying It is more of a school-based program where we go in, we talk about cyberbullying, we talk about social media, we talk about alcohol, marijuana, all those different topics. And then we have also Lead and Seed. Lead and Seed is one of my favorite programs because I deal with much smaller groups. And again, it's another school-based program. But again, we go in, we talk about alcohol, marijuana, multiple substances, over the counter, prescription drugs, and then at the end, they have to teach it back to their classmates. So even this year, they're having it this Thursday on the 22nd, where they're gonna have a Jeopardy game. So 10 students versus 10 of the Lead and Seed kids. Strengthening Families is more a family-based program. Everyone who lives in the household is able to come. We separate the parents from the kids, and we teach them different topics. So it could be something like how to properly express to your parents how you're feeling that day, because some kids just lash out. And then on the parents' end, we also teach them how to properly, talk to your kids. Sometimes parents just go automatically to yelling and, rah rah. But, with this program, we're able to help them kind of understand each other. So the lessons go hand in hand.
So it sounds like you cover quite a few programs, and it seems like there's something for the school base, there's something for the community to connect to. How do students get in contact? Or let's start with students first. How would they get in touch with either Prevention Links or another agency that would allow them to gain access to these resources?
So normally I always tell people I have a business card. I pass it out 9 times out of 10, or I always tell people to visit our website. On our website, we have
Give a plug to the website. What's the website?
preventionlinks.org. Sorry, but it has all the resources you could possibly think of on there, and it gives you youth, elderly, family, and then we have our other like success center, recovery centers. So anything you're really looking for, you go to that website and it's all there.
So for schools that are interested in partnering with Prevention Links, I know you said you have an event coming up soon. Where's that event happening at?
This event is here at Hillside High School.
Okay, just making sure we give a shout out and plug to Hillside High School, making sure you know that we're connected to Prevention Links. But for a school district that's interested in partnering with you, talk about how the school district can begin that process.
So, again, that would go through the website. My supervisor is wonderful. I'm not sure if you guys know her. Her name is Jessica Stewart. You know, usually they don't even come to me anymore. They go straight to her. Always go straight to her, and most of the schools know her, so she just plugs me in there.
I think it's an opportunity for school districts to partner. So is this just Union County only, or is it for Union, Essex? What other counties can be involved, or school districts?
So we only, unfortunately, I wish we could serve everyone, but we only currently serve Union County.
Okay. Is there something similar in our neighboring counties of Essex or Middlesex?
Yes, every county does have something like Prevention Links. We do meet once a month or twice a month.
So when you're engaging with the students, especially in the program Lead and Seed, right? What have you found to be the most rewarding aspect of those activities?
I love that they learned, like at the end of the year, I feel like throughout the year, I'm always proud of them. But at the end of the year, it's like I've bonded with each and every one. I know each and every one of their names. I know each and every one of their personalities. And then when they present that project, it's wonderful because it shows me that you really listen to me. You really like practice this. Because there's a school that had to do a play. I thought I'm nervous. I'm not sure how they're gonna really do because they haven't been practicing. They did their play. They didn't need the script. They told me, Miss A, have a seat. Like, take a load off. We don't need you right now. And when they did that play, it was great. Like everyone remembered all the statistics, all their words, everything. So it just shows me like, okay, you guys were, even though sometimes you were goofing off, maybe not paying attention, it shows me now that, okay, you were really listening to me. You were really learning from me. So that's what really makes me happy.
That's good. That speaks to you as a coordinator and leader too.
Yeah.
So congratulations to that. Let's turn to giving some suggestions and strategies to our young people. The vaping and marijuana use among young people is, I think, at an epidemic and really a call for crisis mode work. Talk about what you're seeing and some strategies that we can begin to share with our young people.
So nowadays, like I said, I teach grades 3 through 12. So there's points where even just living in the community that I live in, I see like kids as young as 3rd grade, 4th grade who are vaping. In the beginning, I did say it starts from home, something like that. I have like my younger kids, 3rd through 4th, 5th. I'm asking them, where are you getting it? Where are you getting these vapes? Like, why are you doing it? And a lot of times they will refer, oh, well, this is going on at home. And, oh, I might be getting it from my older sister. I just take it from her drawer, or whatever the case may be. So I would just say really talking to our youth, asking them what is going on, why, like, what is the reason for this? And when I talk to them, it's normally again, mental health, like I'm feeling this way because this is going on at home. My mom might be not paying attention to me as much, or something with my dad, step parents, siblings, whatever the case may be. So I would just say sitting down and having that conversation as, mom, dad, uncle, aunt. Because even me, I have a younger brother. Um, I treat him like he's my kid. Whenever I see something is off with him or he's acting different, I always go to him and I'm like, hey, how's your day? What's going on? Is something wrong? Something you want to talk about? Because 9 times out of 10, they're automatically going to say no. But keep asking that question, because eventually they'll get tired and be like, I feel like this because blah, blah, blah. Okay? So, yeah.
Yeah, so many of our young people today are carrying burdens that we may not know about. I find it interesting when you begin to ask them, I suffer from mental health issues, and you're in third or fourth grade. We may, as adults, assume you haven't lived life to have any mental health issues, but we don't know the traumas and the struggles they're carrying. So I think it's a beautiful opportunity for them to come in a safe space, be able to talk to someone who's a professional to kind of guide them. However, I say all that to say what makes me more nervous is this increased use of vapes, this increased use of marijuana. Share some of the data points that you're finding as you do this work that is alarming.
So, something that alarms me, when we do our Don't Get Vaped In presentations, we have a slide of numbers. So there is about 1.4 million U.S. youth since 2024, as of 2024, that have reported vaping. So something as simple as like they're doing it every single day. 40% are doing it every single day. And 90% of them are addicted to the flavorings. So flavorings, anything mint, candy, fruit, chocolate, they're addicted to that. You ask them, what is that? What does it do for you? I don't care about how it makes me feel. I like the flavor. And they're not even realizing they're getting addicted to the flavor, because at that point, it's a regular thing for them.
It's amazing that means that these companies are targeting young people if they're doing it for flavors. Because not a lot of adults like watermelon flavor. I think you gave a new flavor that was recently put on the market, or somewhere around watermelon. What are some of the flavors? So
They have anything from like watermelon, guava. I've seen like Hershey, Sour Patch, Kit Kat, like anything sugary that they know kids will like, they will advertise it. They make it these bright colors. They make it household, not even household, like school products that they use every single day. So highlighters, pens, markers, they make it to look like those things, and kids are able to hide them. So a lot of the times, they buy them, hide them somewhere in their pocket or their book bag, bring it home, and then put it in their room, not even thinking like their parents are gonna think anything of it. And it looks exactly like a pencil. I've seen vapes, especially on TikTok, they advertise them a lot. You'd be surprised. I see vapes that are pens. You twist it one way and it's a pen. You can fully write sentences and everything. And then you twist it another way and it's an entire vape.
just think about it, dangerous. You have ink on top of whatever is in the
Exactly.
chemicals being smoked. And listen, several years ago, the government, many of the attorney generals went through legal matters to sue the cigarette manufacturers because of the Joe Cool Camel and the advertising towards kids, because they felt that was drawing kids towards smoking. It's amazing to me that our legislators, both reach local, state, and national, have not rang the alarm that these manufacturers of these products are targeting young people.
Yeah. And I don't know, or if they even care, because they make millions, billions even a day. 25 million within an hour.
Just think about those statistics, folks. So while I even get more frustrated about seeing students use it, young people use it, but none of them are thinking about the medical implications, the long-term health implications. Can you talk a little bit about some of the mental, like the physical implications to these children's brains just due to this chemical, and then become chemical dependent upon this?
So most people know by the age 25, your brain is fully developed. So if we're having kids 14, 15, 16 who are vaping, it takes 30 days to build a habit, 90 days to break it. With substances, it takes longer. So if they're vaping, by 30 days, their brain has already become rewired, to think, I need this substance every day. And I've seen it in schools where, kids might come into school and they haven't, vaped their regular, dosage. They come in, their attitudes are completely different. They're mad, they don't want to do any work, heads down. And then, you let them go to the bathroom, they come back and they're back to their jolly self. So it's like you have those mood changes. Sometimes they don't eat, they don't want to talk to anyone. It takes over
I just
their
I
whole
just need
day.
you to reiterate those statistics that you just said. 30 days to become addicted.
Yeah,
90 days to
90 days or more to break it.
it's a habit.
Yep.
Folks, if we don't see the urgency in making sure we first address the mental health challenges and become aware, notice when young people may be struggling. Many people suffer in silence. But when you suffer long enough, you then turn to alternative forms of comfort, support, and in the case of many of our young people, we're seeing vapes, we're seeing use of marijuana, self-harm. These are all spaces where young people are turning to.
Yeah.
When you think about if you were in a position to talk to legislators right now, what are two or three things you would communicate to get them to understand the need for them to be much more vocal in their legislative power?
First thing I would want them to understand that it can be anyone's child. It can be your child. We're like, these kids are the future. So we need to keep them as healthy as possible. Um, we have to, like, some way, somehow. Already in New Jersey, it's banned flavors, but they still sell them. So, like, holding these store owners accountable, like putting some sort of fine where us as, just regular people can somehow reach out to someone and say, hey, this store is selling vapes. How can we, get them to take these off the shelves? Because kids nowadays, they're going into these stores, although, you have to be 21 and older to buy vapes, you have to show ID. Store owners are still selling to anyone that has money. So holding them accountable and saying, hey, we need to somehow get in contact with someone to report these stores. And then on top of that, think about our children, think about our future, because you never know. Like, that person who is sitting behind that bench, it could be your child as well. You never know.
As you continue to do this work and you think about the impact that you can have, what do you hope to be your lasting impact that you have in the community with this work that you're currently doing?
Oh, I just want to be, I want my face to be remembered. I want these kids, like, as they're going through college, in life, I want to be remembered by them as the woman who taught Miss A. I want to be remembered as Miss A. The teacher who taught them that, you don't need substances to have fun. You don't need substances to get through your day and get through your life. Just being who you are, drinking water, being healthy.
Drinking water.
Like, I want to be that, because I know growing up, I've had wonderful teachers and mentors who, steered me in the right direction. So I want to be that to the younger kids as well.
Miss Yaa, I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule today to come and drop a little bit of knowledge. I think it's important that we have varied voices sit at the table, engage us in conversations. Again, when I saw your presentation, I said to my team, we need to have you because I think not only do you have the opportunity to relate because you're still working with our young folks.
Yeah.
I don't know your age, but I can tell that you still probably understand the voice and the energy of our young people.
Yeah.
So that's important. But you gave some very clear points of knowledge, some data points that even I as an adult didn't know. And I'm like, yo, that's on point.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. Any closing words, final statements you want to leave here in Hillside on the Super Talk podcast?
I just want to tell all the kids out there, be your own leader. Follow your own dreams. You never know what path someone might go down. Be your own leader. You follow what you want to do. It's your life, But again, you don't need substances to have fun. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Miss Yaa from Prevention Links. Another episode of Super Talk with Superintendent Glover. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Trying to tap into your understanding of your mental health. Let's do it the right way. Let's enjoy life by having fun without the use of substances and others. As Yaa said, drink water. You can put a
Please.
little flavor in your water, all right? But let's drink water. And for all those parents, if you see your child going through depression, there are spaces and outreach centers that you can go to. We love you. We care about you. Hillside, let's stand up. Let's get it. Let's go.